Hey everybody, I wanted to jump on here and share with you what we've got going on at the farm these days. It's a cold and blustery November day, and but yesterday was really sunny, and so Colt and I spent the afternoon in the greens patch harvesting greens, and today I'm going to be canning them. Now, last night or yesterday, I just got them down in Walmart bags really, really tight and tied the tops tight and put them in our outside refrigerator. Now that's a great way to store them away if you're going to be harvesting and not canning immediately, which is of course the best way to do it. But we know that life sometimes gets in the way of those kind of things. So I had those in the fridge overnight, and then today I have filled up my sink with water, and I'll show y'all what that looks like. Okay, I filled the sink with water and got my greens in here. This is mustard greens. There's some curly and flat leaf in there. And the important thing is to have good clean water, no soap. That's just there for the dishes. But yeah, get your sinks all really good and clean. Get some clean water. Give them a good rinse to make sure there's no little critters, little bugs hiding in all these beautiful leaves. And I do all this by hand. I see some people doing using utensils, but there's no need for that. Just rip out the stems, that hard stem in the middle. Just give them a good tear with your hands into nice little pieces. And now I have this pot all filled up with greens, and I've got my stove on there, and you'll see, I'll give these a stir, and you can see how fast these just melt into the hot water. So you can see how it takes a lot of greens to get a good pot full. So those just kind of, and they will continue to wilt down, and then you can just continue adding your fresh greens into your pot until you get a good rolling pot full of greens. And this, when you're canning greens, you do not want to add any salt or pepper or oil. No seasonings in this, only hot water. Now, if you're going to freeze your greens, go ahead at this point and add all your salt, your meat grease, whatever, however you like to eat them. Season them exactly like you like them if you're going to be freezing them. And you can take them straight out of here and put them into freezer bags or freezer containers. But if you're going to be canning them like I am today, do not season at this point. Okay, we'll get back with you in a little bit. Just wanted to show you a little visual of why we wash our greens in a pot of cool water. These little guys are hiding in the leaves, and they're very hard to see because they're green. But greens are so easy to plant, they're so easy to grow, they're so easy to harvest, and they're really easy to preserve, but they're not so easy to clean. So it's important that you pick up every leaf that you've picked and check it for little bugs and not so little bugs, just like these guys. I also have found some egg sacs of little caterpillars. If I find another one, I'll get you a picture of it. All right, I'm ready to get these greens in the canner. Now what I've done here is just loosely packed, and that really means don't pack it all. Just get your greens out of your pot into your jar. Place them down in there with a teaspoon of canning salt, and then fill up with it, leaving an inch of headspace. Fill it with the boiling water from your pot. And we've already boiled our lids here. Gonna get those on, get them in the canner, and fill up your canner with water to where what it's recommended for your canner, at the water at the bottom. And then we're going to process these at 10 pounds for 1 hour. Well, here are the finished greens out of the canner and under a towel on the countertop for 24 hours. And then you can remove the rings and get those guys in the pantry. Another tip is to always mark the top of the jar with the date and what's inside. And I'll also show you while we were out picking those greens yesterday and before this cold weather comes, we picked all of the peppers that were still on the plants, and I'm going to pop those in the freezer as well. So I just cut them open, take out the seeds, put them in your compost, and then we'll just stick these halves in a freezer bag and stick them in the freezer. And we don't eat a ton of bell peppers because the kids don't really love them, but you always need them, and these guys are about $1 a piece in the grocery store right now. So, happy canning.